Yes. Is it okay?
Yes.
Huh.
Shall I start?
Yes, Didi, you can start.
Jai Sri Krishna. Pranams to one and all who is on the call. I am Sindhu Ashok. Today I am going to explain the slokas of third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yogas, 17th to 22nd slokas. I will start with Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grithita Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashaധ്യായിനി Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhagavadveshini.
Didi, what happened? Are you there? Hello, Sindhu Didi?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, just now you heard I was chanting Gita Dhyanam, the meditation to Gita. It was written by Madhusudana Saraswati. He is calling Bhagavad Gita as Amba, mother, a biological mother who nurses the child beautifully by feeding the right food at the right stage that will nourish the material personality of that child. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita mother, by feeding one with the food of wisdom, will nourish the inner personality. The mother knows what type of food is to be given and when. Liquid food in the beginning, semi-solid food when the baby is old, and the solid food on growing up. Right food at the right time. The child doesn't know, but the mother knows. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita mother feeds us with wisdom of Karma Yoga in the beginning stages, wisdom of Bhakti Yoga in the middle stages, and also wisdom of Jnana Yoga, really that is solid food when one substantially grown up. Namaskaram to that mother. Today, I'm going to talk about the Karma Yogas, the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This Karma Yoga mainly deals with the application of self-knowledge, the intellectual understanding of the self. That is the basic requirement for Karma Yoga. That is doing work without attachment of their fruits. One should do one's duty in every circumstances, but only as serving God. In this chapter, Lord provides the technique of Karma Yoga, a selfless action, which is the first step that all of us have to take in order to begin the process of elimination of our desires. Arjuna is still in a confused mind. He has not yet had time to reflect on Lord's teaching. Chapter 3 begins with a question from Arjuna that if knowledge is superior to action, why fight it all? He is still trying to get out of taking the action of war. Lord tells him that there are two paths, the yoga of action and the yoga of knowledge. Arjuna asked Lord to reveal what was the most appropriate for him at this point of time. In response to his questions, the Lord, having given several reasons, propounds the necessity of performing the sacrifice, the duty, in order to maintain the world order. He explained the cosmic cycle of life set by the Vedas. As human beings, the only creation that has the capacity to discriminate between the right and the wrong and show compassion and kindness, are duty bound to act in a selfless way as to maintain this cosmic balance. We are blessed to born as a human beings. Each person has their own God-given gift and they must utilize that in service to God. Life is meaningful only when we have shared things to the society, and in that process, we will accomplish dharma and ultimately moksha also. Now, I'm starting from the slogan number 17. Yasvatmaradirev syat atmatriptascha manavaha atmanneva ja sandushtah tasya karyam na vidyate. Meaning, but those who rejoice in the self, who are illumined and fully satisfied in the self, for them there is no duty. In the 17th sloka, Lord talks about the benefits of karma yoga. See, till 16th verse, Lord point out that there is no way one can remain actionless and claim to renounce duties. We are constantly performing our actions either through our thoughts or through our physical actions. Such people performing actions through wandering minds and thoughts resulting in accumulating more karmic bondage. In this verse, in this 17th verse, Lord explains the only exception to these rules. That is, applies to those who are self-realized. Here, Lord says in this verse, 3 words that are Atma Redihi, Atma Triptihi, and Atma Sandushtaha. Atma Redihi means the one who delights in the self. Atma Triptihi, the one who is satisfied in the self. And Atma Sandushtaha, the one who is absolutely content in the self. These 3 do not have any duties expected of them. They are above all these rules of Vedas and are not bound by their actions or lack of it. One who is self-realized is a purified soul, and all their actions are by virtue of their nature, pure and bliss. For example, as long as one is a college student, one is obliged to follow the rules of the college. But one has graduated and earned degree, for them, the rules now become irrelevant. Same way, those who have united with God have no need to follow the rules of Vedas any longer. The Vedas, which helped the soul to reach that destination, now no longer apply. The soul has transcended their area of jurisdiction. For example, a Pandit performed the marriage ceremony. Once the ceremony is over, he says, "Oh, now you are husband and wife, I am leaving." Actually, his task is over. If wife says, "Panditji, the vows you made us take during that marriage are not being followed by my husband," the Pandit will reply, "My duty was to get you both united to marriage, and that work is over." Similarly, the Vedas are there to help unite the self with the supreme self. When God realization takes place, the task of the Vedas is over. Such an enlightened soul is no longer obliged to perform the Vedic duties. Such a person finds unwavering joy in their own being. Such a self-realized soul attains the ultimate happiness, which is permanent. They have no need to look for happiness anywhere else. They are very source of happiness itself. Their cause of joy is ultimate connection with that Parabrahman only. Now I move to the 18th sloka. Naiva tasya kritenartho na kriteneha kaschana na chasya sarvabhudeshu kaschidardhavyapasrayaha. See, in last some verses, we saw Lord was explaining to Arjuna about the importance of performing actions as a yajna and offering to God. He also explains about the cosmic cycle of life. It's important that each of us has to perform our obligatory duties to maintain the harmony of this cosmic cycle. The purpose of Karma Yoga is to purify our mind so that all our actions become yajna and release us from all bondages. Those who have already purified their minds and have attained self-realization are not needed to perform any actions at all. There is nothing for them to gain through actions or the lack of it. See, in this 18th sloka, the essence of Jnana Yoga is explained. In this sloka and the last sloka also, 17th also. The difference between a self-realized soul and Arjuna. Arjuna means the representative of us, for all of us, is like the story of a bird and a man sitting on the branch of a tree. The branch would break any time and fall crashing onto the ground. The man is fully dependent on that branch for his life. But the bird is completely free from the fear of falling and is not dependent on that branch at all. The moment the branch breaks, the bird would fly away happily, while the man could fall and die. A self-realized soul is like that bird. He can happily transact with the world around him and remain completely detached and independent from all of it. Karma Yoga is extremely important in the beginning stages because Karma Yoga alone can give purity of mind. I repeat, Karma Yoga alone can give purity of mind. After the purification of mind, one has to go to the next stage of sadhana, that is Jnana Yoga. Firstly, purify the mind, grow out of Karma Yoga, then go to the next stage of spiritual sadhana, like a child in the womb of a mother. The womb is extremely important for the growth of the child for 9 to 10 months. And once the child is in 10 months, the same womb becomes an obstacle for the child. Therefore, the nature himself has kept an arrangement by which the child comes out of the womb because the next stage of growth is not within the womb but outside. Karma Yoga is like the womb of the mother. We have to lead an active life to purify the mind in the beginning. This first stage is called pravritti, that is involvement, and the second stage is called nivritti, withdrawal. Without Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga is impossible. Without Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga is incomplete. Therefore, follow Karma Yoga and be free. Saints have been two kinds. Karma Yogis and Karma Sannyasis. Karma Yogis are externally doing their duties with their body, where internally their minds attached to God, like Prahlad, Dhruv, etc. Many examples are there. Karma sannyasis are those who internally and externally, with both mind and body, engage in devotion to God. Like Sri Shankaracharya, Sri Ramanuja, etc. They are spreading the knowledge all over, even today. Both options exist for the self-realized sages. They are Jivan Muktas. Here, Lord says that the Jivan Muktas have nothing to gain or lose, either in discharging or renouncing their duties, nor do they depend on other living beings to fulfill their self-interest. Jnani does not require any karma. He may do or may not do. They have already recognized their relationship with that Paramatma, God, and they rejoice in their everlasting bhakti and devotion. Now, I will move to the next one, 20th sloka, 19th sloka. Tasmadasakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hecharan karma paramapnodi purushaha. Meaning, therefore, giving up attachment, perform action as a matter of duty, for by working without being attached to the fruits, one attained the supreme. This sloka, this 19th sloka, said to be one of the favorite words of Mahatma Gandhi. He used to say, Gita is my mother, my eternal mother. According to Gandhiji, the central teaching of Gita, which inspired him, were anasakti, that is non-attachment, karma phala tyagam, renunciation of fruits of action, and nishkama karma, non-desire action. Yet another beautiful reminder from Gita to all who run away from the duties and life, claiming to be spiritual and renunciant, without achieving the mental purity, control of mind and senses, and spiritual advancement. Arjuna's duty at this point is not to be a renunciant. He has to perform his obligatory duties as a warrior. He is duty bound to fight the battle to establish dharma. If he had opted self-realization, he would not have been attached to the end result of the battle. So, Lord asked Arjuna to fight the battle to protect dharma. We all are duty bound to protect dharma. Thus, the scriptures say, Dharmo yakshadi yakshidaha. Dharma protects those who protect dharma. Dharma is doing things in the right way, at the right time, with the right intention, for the purpose of creating harmonious mind and society. Arjuna had all the qualities, yet still very much attached to his actions. All of us have our own duties based on our past karmas, our gunas and vasanas. Through karma yoga, we can develop purity of mind and attain moksha. Till then, whoever runs away from their duties are simply wasting their life and accumulating even more karmic attachments. Here, Lord gives an advice to Arjuna that your goal is total emotional importance, that is moksha. So follow karma yoga, purify the mind, then follow jnana yoga, discover the self-sufficiency and be free. So you have to start from karma yoga. Don't try to run away from your responsibility. Karyam karma samacharaga. You should do your duty without attachment and anxiety, and do wholeheartedly and efficiently. Such an intelligent karma yogi with a healthy attitude ultimately attain moksha. Therefore, Arjuna, you have to fight. Now I am going to the 20th sloka. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthida janakadayaha loga samgrahamevapi sampashin kartumarhasi. Meaning, by performing their prescribed duties, King Janaka and others attained perfection. You should also perform your work to set an example for the good of the world. As per our Hindu culture tradition, every stage of life is called as ashrama. It is not that sannyasi alone lives in ashram. We think house is not an ashram. Our tradition says you can convert your house also into an ashram and an ashram into a house. The main difference between house and ashram is the attachment. If the attachment is there, any building is a house. If the detachment is there, any building is an ashram. Lord says that grihasthas and rulers can attain liberation. Here he gives an example of King Janaka. King Janaka attained self-realization through karma yoga while discharging his kingly duties for the benefit of his people and set a good example for his people and the society to follow without changing the ashrama. He attained liberation, which proves it is possible for the grihasthas. So Lord says, Arjuna, now follow dharma yuddha. Purify your mind. Continue in grihastha gain self-knowledge and be a grihastha jnani. For the well-being of the society, welfare of the society, and the upliftment of the society. That is called loga samgraham. For that purpose, you have to do your duty to set an example for the good of the world. With Janaka's example, Lord has given confidence to Arjuna. See, Jnaneshwar Maharaj gives an interesting example to show by performing duties, one set an example for the society. Just as a man who can see walks along with a blind man to guide him on the way, the same way, wise man should show the true religion to an ignorant man by his own example. Now I move to the 21st sloka. Yedacharati shreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurude logastadanu vartade. Whatever actions great persons perform, common people follow. Whatever standards they set, all the world pursues. In our tradition, there are three sources of knowledge to find out what is the dharmic way of living. That is Shruti, Smriti, and Shreshtaha. The entire Vedas and scriptures are the primary source of dharma, is called Shrutihi. The human beings can never know it totally because our knowledge is limited. The secondary source, that is Smriti, which is based on Vedas, but many of the Dharma Shastra rules we are not able to follow. So it is interpreted according to times. They also teach Dharma, example Ramayana, Mahabharata, other Puranas, etc. The third source is the most powerful teacher because the Shrudihi and Smritihi are only in written form. The third source have got greater impact on the society. Lord calls them as Shreshthas, great personalities. We always receive inspiration from the great personalities. They should always act in an exemplary manner to set the standard for the world. Naturally, what the leaders do, the followers copy. For every child or individual, the first and most powerful role model during the formative period is the mother, then father, then guru. What the elders do, children imitate. In early days, kings were the examples. There are two kinds of duties. One is bhakti, that is the spiritual duty, and the other is karma, worldly duty. Bhakti is totally absorbed and surrendered to God, but karma is to the world and the family, etc. There are two types of saints. The saints who lived in household life are called karma yogis, and the saints who are totally renounced are called karma sannyasis. Karma yogis are doing karma plus bhakti. The karma sannyasis are doing only bhakti. If somebody takes this karma sannyasis like Sri Shankaracharya as role model, without inner renunciation and enlightenment, they will reject their worldly duties. They had copied externally and not internally. They will become vigarmi. Instead of going up, they will go down. We can see thousands of such sadhus in India. Karma sannyasis are enlightened souls. They are totally dedicated to God. They do not serve as a good role model for the society. If somebody tries to take karma yogi as a role model, they will follow the external thing. So at least they will do karma. Slowly they will get purified. When one stage comes, they may renounce completely. Arjuna is an important member of the society. Arjuna is very popular person because he is an all-rounder. Whatever he does, the society is waiting to follow. So, Lord says, Arjuna, I recommend to you the path of action, that is Karma Yoga. And I will move to the next sloka, 22nd. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेश किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि. Meaning, there is no duty for me to do in all three worlds, O Partha, nor do I have anything to gain or attain. Yet, I am engaged in prescribed duties. Now, it's a very interesting sloka. Now, Lord is giving his own example. Arjuna, I am God. I have nothing to attain. I am perfect and complete in myself. See, even though he was the incarnation, he was the avatara, he done his swadharma. He became Arjuna's charioteer. He followed all the rules. As a grihastha, he followed Aditi Devo Bhava. When Kujela came, he did Pada Puja. He had to kill his own uncle to establish Dharma. He done his duty completely. Actually, he need not to do any duty to purify his mind. He called himself as an example. He called himself as a role model. The great Guru Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had a woman disciple. One day, she came to him with her son and said, Gurudev, my son wants to eat sweets every day, which is spoiling his teeth and it's affecting his health badly. Please advise him and bless him so that he stops the bad habit. Guru looked at that boy, but instead of talking to him, asked the woman to bring him back after 2 weeks. The woman brought the boy after 2 weeks. Then Guru advised him about all the ill effects of taking more sweets. Actually, his words touched the boy's heart and accepted his advice and promised that he should stop eating them every day. And he prostrated, and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa blessed him. After the boy went, his mother asked, "Gurudev, why did you make us wait for 2 weeks to give advice?" Guru said, "When you came 2 weeks ago, I too was in the habit of eating sweet. How could I ask your son not to do something which I myself was doing almost every day? From that day, I stopped eating sweets. That gave me enough strength and power to advise your son to do what I myself have done." This story shows the most effective way to tell others about how to do a duty or do spiritual practice is by practicing it ourselves. Otherwise, we may find that others do not take such advice seriously. In this way, through practice, by doing all our actions perfectly, we can also become the role models for or set an example for many. See, even though our thoughts are considered as actions, without achieving mastery over our minds, we cannot control our thoughts. By simply discarding our duties towards our families, societies, jobs, nation, etc., one does not become a Jivan Mukta. We must have the spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and internal enlightenment so that we can sit quietly and meditate upon the self and contemplate on who am I. The discovery of that I as Atma, which is undestroyable, eternal, and that I is none other than God, that is the self-realization. Jai Sri Krishna. Namaskar to all.
Very nice, Didi. Too good, actually. You have delivered the third adhyay. It's very nicely with all of lots of examples and all. It's good, really good. Someone wants to talk?
Thank you so much, Sujita Didi, for giving me the opportunity for doing so. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you. Someone wants to talk? Yeah, very nice explanation. Anyone wants to talk more about that? This? Okay. Please hand raise. Hand raise करू शकता तुम्ही? कोणाला जर बोलायचं असेल तर? Okay, Didi. Okay, Didi. Once again, thanks a lot. It's really good. You have delivered nicely, actually. Only the 4 to 5 shlokas, but it's nicely. Again, we want to listen from you.
Sure. I will try my best to do.
Definitely. Okay. Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much again for this opportunity.
Yes, Didi.